Alrighty, so welcome back. So, if you remember, Sal's my name and movies are my game, and I'm here with Kazu. Say hi, Kazu.
Hi.
Okay, so now we're gonna go into part 2, the spoilers for Guardians of the Galaxy. And, whew, yeah, I said a while ago, there is a lot to talk about this movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, for a big Marvel fan like me, yeah, really makes me wonder what is going to happen next. Okay, so I suppose we should start at the beginning. So, yeah, so we got our hero, Chris Pratt, also known as Star-Lord. He is stealing this seemingly unimportant sphere thing from a planet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that, right? Yeah. And then he apparently, okay, Star-Lord came from Earth, right? And his mother died. Then after that, he was kidnapped by aliens. Yeah, story of his life. So eventually he became like a mercenary who steals stuff for profit. So he steals this random sphere thing, and goons from the villain of our movie, Ronan the Accuser, are out to get the sphere as well. So eventually, Star-Lord escapes, but not before seeing some great bits with him, right? Like the part in the beginning where he dances while he has his cassette player on him. Yeah, there are a lot of moments in this movie where it's nothing but music, and it really helps set up how different it is. I mean, I already appreciated it before in Thor: The Dark World when we first saw the Collector character. You remember that, right? From Thor 2
Yeah.
at the end? Yeah, we saw the Collector. He was also in this movie. So it was finally great to see something different for Marvel. I mean, I love Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, and Hulk, but this is our very first different kind of Marvel movie, and I really loved it, and with this movie being a success, I hope to see more of it. So eventually, Chris Pratt, Star-Lord, heads back to the planet with the police. Do you remember the name of the planet? X something?
Nova? Oh, no.
Yeah, the one with the Nova Corps. Yeah, the Nova Corps, they're like a space police in this movie. The one that's headed by Glenn Close, Nova Prime. Yeah, do you remember the name of the planet?
I forgot.
Yeah, X something, Xandor or something like that. But yeah, he tries to get payment, but the owner of a store there really does not want to do anything because that sphere is bad news. Definitely bad news when we find out just exactly what is in that sphere. So, while Star-Lord has that sphere, we see our villain, Ronan the Accuser, and two other characters, Gamora and Nebula. Both of them are sisters, which really surprised me. Star-Lord's boss, because Star-Lord works with a group, Star-Lord's boss is Yondu? That's his name, the blue skin guy? Yondu?
I forgot.
Yeah. I think it's Yondu, yeah. Yondu puts out a bounty for him, and then that's when we meet Rocket Raccoon and Groot. And right away, we warm up to them, because Rocket, he is always talking, and we see him wisecracking about everything, including, guess who is in, you remember who is in this movie, right? As always, Stan Lee. Yeah, Stan Lee is once again in this movie, and the cinema really laughed again, yeah. So, yeah, and then we see Groot drinking from a water fountain, and most of the movie he only says 3 words. What are they? Groot. Yeah, that's all he says, but Rocket Raccoon can understand him perfectly. So, yeah, what happened? So, all the characters get into a fight where Rocket and Groot want Star-Lord for the money, while Gamora tries to hunt Star-Lord to get the sphere back. All of them get captured by the Nova Corps and are sent to this prison, where we meet Dave Bautista's character, Drax the Destroyer. Right away, right away, the entire group pretty much hate each other. Star-Lord is like a completely smug, arrogant person. People hate Gamora because she works for Ronan the Accuser. Yeah, because Ronan the Accuser worked to destroy all of these planets. Drax, and same with Drax the Destroyer, he hates Gamora because Ronan killed Drax's family. And then Rocket and Groot just want the money. Yeah, we later do find out that Ronan the Accuser works for Thanos. And oh man, it was fun to finally see Thanos in the flesh. Yeah, it was fun. It was great to see Thanos, right? You remember him at the end of the Avengers, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so to finally see him was really great. And when he was on there, especially for Marvel fans, seeing Thanos on screen finally just really gives you chills. Yeah. So Ronan and Thanos work together in order to get the sphere back so that Thanos will destroy Xandar or whatever. So through a really great scene, the group, our motley crew escapes from prison with a lot of funny moments from Rocket Raccoon and Groot. Like I remember Rocket has this great plan, and Groot botches it up by stealing the battery ahead of time. Gamora needs to get this one thing, and then Rocket asks Star-Lord to get a leg, a prosthetic leg, and it turns out that Rocket was just messing with him. And then Drax the Destroyer ends up joining the mess too, and then all of them escape, and they head to this one place, Nowhere. Yeah, and that's Nowhere. That's Nowhere as in Know. And there they meet the Collector, who is the one that Gamora wants to give the sphere to. Okay, yeah, the Collector first appeared in Thor: The Dark World. Okay, where you remember Thor: The Dark World, where the two characters from Thor gave them the Aether, the red box. And that is really important because, for big Marvel fans, this is where we finally find out more about the Infinity Stones, because in that sphere was one of the Infinity Stones. And the Collector gives a brief rundown on what the Infinity Stones are. And it is there that we see the Tesseract from Phase 1, the blue box, and the Aether from Thor: The Dark World. So again, for nerds like me, it was really fun to see all this continuity. Upon discovering that it's an Infinity Stone, most of the characters go nuts at the revelation, and they steal the Infinity Stone away from the Collector. But then Ronan's people show up, and Drax tries to fight Ronan, but fails. All of the characters get separated. Star-Lord and Gamora get captured by Yondu, right? Yeah. While Rocket, Groot, and Drax are left on their own. Eventually, through a couple of scenes, Yondu and his crew make a deal with Star-Lord and the others to help save Xandar and get the sphere back, to get the Infinity Stone back. And it is here where we have to talk about the downside of this movie, the slow scenes. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. The slow scenes, in theory, served a purpose. Because throughout the movie, they frequently mention how the Guardians of the Galaxy are the most unlikely group of heroes. I mean, you've got Chris Pratt Star-Lord, a green-skinned alien woman, an assassin, a giant tree thing, and a raccoon with a machine gun. Yeah, that definitely looks like a group of heroes. Yeah. And so repeatedly they talk about how